We head to the Americas for the last three races of the World Championship. Montreal, Watkins Glen, and Interlagos will take us to a season champion. Because, yeah, this still determines the season champion, because the final challenge is a team-oriented thing. So that's more like deciding the winning team of Season 4, while the World Championship determines the winning driver.
That maths.
We can't quite do it like Formula 1 would do, where there's the world drivers and world constructors, because the final challenge is a relay-style championship. And we'll get to that in greater detail when it actually comes time to do it. But for now, Montreal. The lights are green. Watch Logan lose the pole again to fucking Ruby?
Yeah, that was unexpected. I expected Kaiser.
She didn't, yeah, I mean, Kaiser ends up second, Ryza ends up the leader, but Ruby had the whole shot. She must have, like, timed that perfectly. Fucking Valtteri Bottas race start, but she's immediately losing. Speaking of losing it, did you get run into there?
Yep.
Bumper to the back of the 83 by Eric, of all people. Well, he has rear end damage, so I wonder if maybe he wasn't pushed into that too. No, he had that damage from before. He just ran you over, and then Corleva ran him over. This is the chaos we're used to seeing on race starts, because, yeah, Eric was, he ran into you, or, well, he was pushed into you by Corleva that time. But he does not have the same excuse for the next set of turns, so... Yep.
And that's all I can say on the broadcast about that situation before Riker has to put technical difficulty banner.
Speaking of, I am also the POV driver. My own four-wheel drive advantage, and also being able to avoid running into shit this time. Puts me in 7th on the way out of the second chicane. Thrasher defending for me at third chicane was definitely a what the fuck moment. Oh! Farah Fadanzi, who was sort of in contention for the points lead, just fell right out of it. Mounted the curb, pushing her own teammate off the road. That was...
But there was contact with Eric and that Enzo Ferrari on the entry corner as well that I noticed. And
yeah,
I think
they both...
the third time this lap those two have run into, make that fourth time.
Jesus fucking Christ, Anastasia. You wouldn't think this car was multi-million dollars. Alright, so who's not pitting at the end of this lap? Thrasher's not. Fucking A. Wait for work, man? You're on the wrong side of the continent. So the top 4 are clean. Thrasher and Ruby are fine. Going too slow to run into anything in these cars. Pacific Spirit are clean at their home track. Wayne Hansen has damage, but he didn't pit.
Pacific Spirit are located on a by track near the Atlantic Ocean.
Brian Ice in his corporation hail from Vancouver. Still not really that much closer, but this is just their home track by way of we don't race anywhere else in Canada but here.
We used to have another track.
A track that he couldn't even race at because he didn't have a dirt car, or special conditions car. Nobody on his team did. So, opening lap chaos aside, and we saw there in the replay Wayne Hansen getting caught up in the conga line of drivers having to pit in, and he apparently had the spatial awareness of a fucking peanut and didn't notice, oh, all these cars are trying to pit, they have their turn signals on, I should probably not be in this lane. Finally, it feels like for the first time this championship, Kurt Wilde is running where that car should be. He's sitting 17th in points heading into Montreal, and he's had very few races where he has actually been able to, you know, show the actual speed that I know that McLaren has. That I do just absolutely cross over the shit out of him there. Not quite at the exit, but definitely just with being able to have more momentum on the way out. And then I just outbrake them a lot. Now I have a pair of Germans to deal with. And now I have one German to deal with.
And kind of missed the corner there, don't you think?
There's been worse. At least when I miss the corner, I miss when there's no one in front of me to hit. Hey Stephanie, remember Spa? Remember the pain in the ass you were? Pacific Spirit now 7-8. Ruby last among cars without damage, big surprise, but hey. Surviving attrition is still a valid strategy at some races.
Into the hairpin, Kaiser going to dive the crossover. No! Can't really use four-wheel drive vans against a four-wheel drive car. But
No.
you can use the slipstream in a V10.
It wasn't a crossover attack, but it was definitely a crossover setup. We'll call it a catapult, really. And, spoiler alert, I just fuck off from here.
Wake me up when it's over.
Briscoe trying to steal 6th. Aranto is all over the road in his effort to stay there. Well, the Huracan maintains grip because it's all-wheel drive. And I know, definitely repeating ourselves at this point with that. And Logan, the race is over.
Oh, great.
Like,
Go to Watkins Glen now.
no, we still gotta do 3 more laps here. I run through the chicane there is a pretty telltale example of what I think made, other than four-wheel drive, what gave my car the edge here is I ran a higher ride height, a concept I alluded to in Spa, when I said to run higher ride height, and Deep Forest actually. I can run over the curbs. Not many other guys here could do that without yeeting themselves into orbit. There's a good chance that the Pacific Spirit guys also probably did that because they know the place, and you can just tell the way that Dom is attacking these curves that, yeah, he also has a higher ride height than average, but they didn't really get any help from the starting grid. Even if they got up into 6th and 8th from attrition, that only really got them so far when they started in the back 40.
Man, Kurt Wild's having a very clean race.
Well, you say that. He used the wrong sign. Or something, I don't know. That's not good. He finally has a race he can actually show the car's speed, and he just fucks up the braking. Not really becoming a former Formula 1 driver. Riza will end up in 2nd instead, eventually. So fucking stupid from that camera, just watching somebody bolt into the pits from that angle. Something just like that, more attrition has helped Dom DePrisco. He's now into 4th place. He might have time for a podium, but I don't really know if he has enough time to get to Raiza, much less to me. And Brian Ice still struggling to deal with Aranto in car number 57.
Well, finally some entertainment.
Yeah, DePrisco has caught the other two. He does probably have time for second. Raiza had a terrible lap 6. They were almost 3 wide of there on the way into the fucking wall of champions. Raiza curb hop.
Oh!
No damage for Dom after getting pushed into the wall by Raiza's clumsy curb adventures. Dom almost misses turn 1. Jock Aranto does miss turn 1 as he tries to fight back against Ice, who got him on the way out of the wall of champions. And he will fight back. Ice is probably steaming in that car right now. Or fuming, I think that's the right word, actually. I was going to be guilty of some conservative driving towards the end here, but I knew I would be fine to do that because I was already making all of my money on the way out of the hairpin and through the wall of champions, so even if I got past here, wouldn't have made too much of a difference. DePrisco took a peek at the third chicane, almost at the final chicane. No, that's the wall of champions. So you make a lunge here. He does, bumper to the back of the 3, and Raiza puts the bumper to the back of the 88. So the second time those two come together, that's going to hurt Dom's top speed on the way down to the wall of champions. He's still going to hit 210 before braking, but he's not going to have a shot at the 296.
He's going to hit 210 and almost hit the 296. I am so glad my notification turned down. Thanks, Thrasher, as Riker is going to get his second win of this championship.
Yep, I am the first and concurrently only repeat winner of the championship so far, and that's what it's taken to even get into the conversation of the points lead. Because Isabelle, prior to this race, had untouchable consistency. This is the first time she's shown any kind of problems, and it wasn't really even her doing. It was just the general chaos of turns, of the first handful of turns in the race that also took you out of contention. Nilu will narrowly hang on to second despite attempts from Dom and Raiza to send it on her. Raiza had second at one point, but got absolutely mugged on the way out of the hairpin and on the way through the wall of champions. She put the bumper to Dom at the hairpin, so she never had second. She had third. Dom still had the better run off because wall 4-wheel drive. And Raiza's shenanigans at the hairpin left her completely vulnerable to Aranto. And I guess she just had another curb excursion here. This time Aranto did not work around it, but Brian Ice just drag raced them to the line. And Raiza lost that drag race convincingly. Ice almost stole fourth, would have almost been a 3-4 for the single Canadian outfit in the series. But yeah, that was everything. You had to wait until the final lap and a half, and that's when everybody was like, oh right, this is a race, we should probably race. So with 2 rounds to go, just Watkins Glen and Interlagos left, Isabelle has finally fallen out of the points lead and is now in fact tied for third in the battle. Wanda Glass remains the points leader, but I am only 1 point off of her. Isabelle is actually tied with Nilu, who just took second here. So, they're the other big loser. Yeah, Wayne Hansen is officially out of contention, pretty much. Well, 18th here. Yeah, that's gonna put him right out of it. I almost said third. No, it's because he has 3 points. But, yeah. I would say at this point, if you're within 10, you have a reasonable shot. So Wanda, me, Isabel, Nilu, Eric, and Farah Fodanzi all have a reasonable shot. Wayne Hansen and Dom DePrisco are tied at 86, 11 back from Wanda Glass. I guess they are also probably close enough, especially since Dom clearly has some momentum off of that race, even if he's got some damage to fix, courtesy of Ryza. Luckily, it doesn't matter. The race is over. The penultimate round, Watkins Glen, and the only track in the USA for the World Championship. Watkins Glen's going to take a whole lot of laps, even though we're even running the long course, much to a certain admin's dismay, but he got outvoted on that 2-1 between me and Thrasher, the other ones who voted on it, because the other three really couldn't care, so they just abstained.
I knew I should have bribed some people.
Jokes on you, I wouldn't be surprised if Thrasher probably bribed Iwasaki. And he still was like, nah, I reject your bribe and substitute not caring. We are green from the Glen. Something all-wheel drive advantage. The starting grid gods need to stop letting this happen. Dom DePrisco is going to get to the lead. Farah Fodanzi is going to follow him through in the other Lamborghini. And my throat is had about enough. Once again, Ruby Kurosawa enjoys the luxury of starting on the front 3 rows of the grid. Might help her here. Watkins Glen only has the 1 straightaway. Ruby is using that 5th gear for all it is worth. Holy shit, I know that's a 6-speed. And all-wheel drive advantage also helps Wayne Hansen, who's already sitting in 9th, possibly 8th, if he can get this done on Noir through the carousel. I think he will. Yes. Noir's gonna send it back on the way into the boot section, though, so it has been undone by that. So he'll go for it into the toe. And I'm sure what is currently fueling Wayne Hansen forward right now is he sees who's in the lead. We all know these two are best of friends. Even if they've played nice in terms of contact as of late, I'm sure Wayne Hansen ain't gonna want to lose to him. Nothing in the sponsorship clause says you can't finish ahead of the guy, you just can't wreck his shit. That was misclicked. It was a misinput, calm down!
Panic!
Yeah, let's see, what is the damage, literally? You are part of the damage again.
Bus stop shenanigan.
Current contender for the points lead. I'm not exactly the maneuver of a points leader right there. That is the wrong button. I guess she maybe wasn't ready for you to move back into line after Wayne Hansen got by. There was also even much heavier contact than that behind. Rollins' car is absolutely fucked up. Brian Ice is to blame for that. That was a lot of overspeed. He did not brake where he needed to whatsoever.
And I think Emmy and Stephanie had a fucky-wucky together.
That must be at turn 1. Porsche Things and runs out the back of Noir.
Eh.
Funnily enough, you don't see the Temu Porsche doing that under the brakes. Go figure.
Yeah, but 992 isn't rear engine, rear wheel drive, so is it really a Porsche 911? Is it really an overclocked Beetle if it isn't Beetle drivetrain?
May introduce the new Beetle RSI.
I know what I'm Googling after this.
Hansen will unsurprisingly embarrass the quote Temu Porsche on the way into the bus stop. Crosses over Eric but can't get any further. Oh, in this entire championship, the only race that has taken place on a clear day is fucking Le Mans. Or at least a sunny day. It wasn't clear, there were clouds, but every other track has been either at night, misty, or hazy, or raining, or a combination of these things, like Octopolis, which was all three at once.
At least in Octopolis, it got so dark we couldn't see the atrocities in the weather.
Every race except Le Mans, the headlights were mandatory, though. That's the crazy part. It is literally an Italian car, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huracan, Aventador, 296, Murcielago, and F12 Berlinetta. Not necessarily in that order, potentially, if Wayne Hansen gets this done, which he does.
And then it's a German car, 6, 7.
Hey, look, Canada.
And then behind Canada is Italy.
Again, maybe I can pass these three and make it an Italian top 6. They need to stop being too wide in front of me, though. That doesn't really help business.
You can make it 3 wide into the SS at Watkins Glen.
No!
Coward.
I've already had one run-in with that driver in 8th here. I don't need another one.
Something about grudges?
Even if it's not a grudge, that's still asking to get moved out of the way if you have the idea to do something like that. Wayne Hansen into the podium spot. Scott Nielu on the way out of the S's, although the replay cameras didn't actually catch that. They were busy focusing on Isabel and Ruby fighting for the most part. Farah's actually going to go down the inside of Dom at the toe, and actually no, not new race leader. She had the lead earlier. Are they going to go 3? No, Farah blocks Wayne Hansen off, preventing that notion. Now let's see, do they keep driving clean? If they can stay clean, they're going to score good points from this, and will be able to actually fight for the championship together, or against each other, however you look at it. They'll both fight for the championship in the final round if they can finish like this cleanly. And I feel like if we were going to see some bullshit, it was going to happen already. Especially when they nearly went 3 wide into the heel. Dominic defends, and he will stay in second with it. Hansen got the better exit though, but he's going to be forced a long way around up the hill, which will not work, not with something this heavy.
Around the outside, no, almost.
Shuts the door. Dom is probably more focused on trying to pass Farah. He almost did it on the way into the bus stop, but could not convert. These 3 are the class of the field. Nielu has completely lost the plot with them. And by extension, so obviously so does everyone else. Hansen had so much overspeed on the way out of the first corner there of the boot, but nowhere to go with it. And you'll have a good exit out of the toe, but still don't think he's got anywhere to go. Dom defends. And breaks later for good measure.
Down through the heel, climbing up the hill into... I remember correctly, that's turn 9.
Dom defends again.
Clear line into turn 10.
That's not really a braking zone. I don't know why Dom bothered defending. It's gonna almost get him deleted on the way. It might actually be his undoing having defended there. Hansen second over the start-finish line. 2 laps to go from the Glen.
You could make it work if you could pinch him off into turn 1. Which, I can't tell if he fully did there or not.
No, he defended from him instead on the way into 1.
Here we go, climbing up the hill, off to turn 4. Side by side, vehicle outside rarely works, in trouble. Brown gets a 250, hard into the wall. Back across traffic, watch out, Pack.
I can't tell if he flashed his lights there to like warn the others, like, hey, this is the front of my car, don't run into it, it's not moving. Or if that was an angry press all of the buttons, because that's a DNF for the Murcielago. And he's stuck facing the wrong way. The Aspinall Special, as that's kind of become known between at least you and me and Thrasher. Attentive viewers shouldn't need an explanation as to why it's called that. God, Nilu must have had a fucking harrowing sight right there. Because she wasn't even really close enough to see that start. She just sees the smoke get kicked up, and then the front of a Lamborghini.
What's enough? You could probably high-five the driver.
And the race was called official at the 7-minute 47 mark, so Farah Fadanzi wins on countback. Dom was probably the faster car. I would actually know Hansen was the fastest of the 3 Lamborghinis, but obviously he can't really do much from here. Under other circumstances, I would say that's clumsiness. But considering those two's history, my guess is Dom DePrisco saw Wayne Hansen with a chance at an accolade and said nuh-uh. Get a look at his steering inputs here. I mean, he doesn't stop turning right, but he certainly doesn't turn right enough. We'll see how long Wayne Hansen's in his mirrors. If it's might be a blind spot thing, but I think he has to know.
Where? You don't see him in the driver's side mirror until contact is made.
That might be probably why so many other incidents happen here, but...
That's...
I mean, the way I see it, though, Isabel got a week off for doing this exact thing to me in slower cars.
Yeah, but Isabel also made that turn to the left.
I also feel like these two just have way too much past history to just say it was a racing incident. That is, if we're being generous, elbows out, I don't care what happens, but I think the more likely outcome, if you were to ask me, is just genuinely, fuck you.
Yeah, I can't really tell. You can't, that's tough for me. You also kind of agree it's kind of tough, so we'll just send the footage to Thrasher and let Thrasher settle this mess out.
Or better yet, we can get the... Or better yet, we can actually get the other admins to vote on something this time around.
Yeah, like the midget layout.
The championship finale brings us to Brazil. No, it is not a Brazil hole, Logan. But, in the mess of whatever happened at Watkins Glen between DePrisco and Hansen, which the mod vote was in, we'll get to that in a second. But the more pressing matter is the points battle, which, it's a lot of a battle, because there are 7.5 drivers who are reasonably able to win this championship. After Watkins Glen, me and Danilu are tied for the points lead. Eric and Defara Fadanzi are also tied at 3rd with 108, 2 back from us. Isabel 5th in points at 107. Dom DePrisco 6th at 105. Wanda Glass 7th at 104. Riza 8th in points with 101. I say 7.5 though, because for the second time this week, Logan got outvoted. Well, really, you didn't vote, but me and Thrasher both kind of settled on, yeah, we need to follow the same precedent from the last time somebody did this. Simply because Thrasher and I are both kind of like, we operate off of past history. We have seen at least a dozen times where Dom has done much worse than this to Wayne Hansen. Sponsors or not, we also do remember the explanation of Dom is the one who started it. He's the one who sought revenge. He's the one who specifically joined the Challenge Series, specifically to shit on Wayne Hansen's parade because of what he did to him back in 2015. It was over 10 years ago.
Levels of pettiness.
He's actually probably more petty than anybody on your team.
That's possible?
He's held a beef for 10 years because he got sent to prison for 6 of them. Because he was caught illegally straight racing when it happened.
Skill issue.
So yeah, Dom is not going to be starting this race. He is going to be out of contention simply by fucking disciplinary action. So it's 7 drivers with a legitimate shot with walking away with the World Championship in hand. 9 points between Ryza and 8th in points, and the tie for first between Nilu and I. But nobody else can even do it mathematically, because 9th in points is Noir with 90, 20 back, so she would need to be 17 or less back to win the championship, since me and Nilu are tied. God damn motherfucking first party piece of shit, fuck.
Quit turning the cap to the left!
We're both a little dysfunctional at this point.
I want to send Interlagos to Brazil!
Unfortunately, we can only send it to Pontiac, and this is not Interlagos' fault that the game has crashed 3 times on us. We're green. 4-wheel drive advantage. GT7 does not want this episode to be finished.
Something won the glass POV, something Brian I sweet over Isabel.
But I don't think Isabel particularly cares if Brian Ice is doing that, because where she sits right now, she wins the championship if nothing extreme changes. Even if Eric passed Emmy, he would also have to pass her.
A challenge.
Yeah, good luck dealing with 4-wheel drive advantage.
4-wheel drive advantage of somebody who went to the Me School of Defensive Driving, as in I literally taught her how to park the bus.
And with like 5 or 6 hairpins on this track, parking the bus is of great benefit here, much more so than most other tracks in the world, let alone in this championship. I mentioned Wanda Glass is the POV, and she just got like 5 passes done on the way from June South to the Senna S's at turn 1. And I gave Rollins a little tap. Actually, I wasn't even trying to bump him. I was trying to get ahead of Thrasher on the brakes. Because, you know, I do have a championship to win. I can't win it from back here, starting like 16th, because starting grid does not like me. I mean, for fuck's sake, I turned the 2 times in this championship I started in the top 10 into a 1st place and a 2nd place. So...
I'm not even going to correct you on what you just said, it's because we have just both had enough of this bullshit. We've been on the road 4 weeks.
22 days. This is exactly 3 weeks removed from the first round in Tokyo, so...
Yeah, we only get like a week off before the next championship.
Yeah, and that's 25 races over the span of a month and a half.
At least I get more than a week off.
Yeah, you only have to run 9 of the races, and
championship implications: Corvette to meet Lamborghini, and then there were 3 guys left in the title fight? 2.5, really? Because,
no, it's like 4 or 5. Even though Ryzer's not running very well. We went into the race with 7. I just got yeeted out of it. Ryza's not running anywhere near well enough to contend for it back here.
Down to 6, down to 7, Inten.
Nilu's also not running that well, so it's 5, I would say. Farah, Wanda, Eric, Isabelle, kind of... Well, okay, maybe not.
Yeah, by this point, I just
Lamborghini meet Corvette.
Yeah, by this point, I just wanted to pull it into the garage, call it a championship, and just go home. But sadly, my ride is in third, and I would be absolutely miserable just sitting in the garage.
And then Wanda also just ran into the back of Wayne Hansen at turn 6. Oh, he moved into the braking zone. That'll do it, yeah.
Angry snake noises.
You don't step on a snake without getting bit. So that makes it 2, basically. Because Wanda Glass is damaged, unless she just chooses to ignore it. That does seem like something that she would do. And even then, Wanda Glass, even if she does stay out here, the things she would need to have happen to actually win the championship are very unlikely. And she is staying out. So she is just ignoring. But even as it sits right now, this doesn't change much. Because Wanda is 4 back from Eric, 3 back from Isabelle. There's only 1 car in front of Isabelle. There's actually only 4 cars in front of Eric, so... Wanda Glass can't win this championship without something crazy happening. Considering 6 is all the way back here, and it's Ruby, and then 7th is Thrasher fighting with Corleva.
I thought you'd have surprised to see that car running up this high compared to where it's been the rest of this championship.
Thrasher's also not been helped too much by the starting grid RNG, but he also is just in like one of the slowest cars in the category, and it was a legitimate shock to me that he even managed to wheel this thing into the cup at all. Him and Ruby definitely were the massive underdogs of this championship, and Ruby especially has managed to convert some decent points off of a championship that many think that this car never should have even been in. Not even to say anything of the driver, but just of the car itself.
For every Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing, there's a Rick Ware Racing and NY Racing.
This is more like a Spire, though, because well, not even Spire of this year, but like a couple years ago when they had no speed or anything. Maybe the best analog right now is Trackhouse, where their cars are absolute shit, but they have SVG, who's just doing things on road courses.
And that entire thing, we missed Wanda Glass getting past Isabelle, which that doesn't mean jack shit.
No, it really doesn't. That only really, like, yeah, no, it doesn't change anything. That doesn't change the number of positions in between her and Wojciechowski. The fulcrum of this is really just Emmy. It matters where she finishes, because if things sit as they are, this 3-4-5 doesn't change. Isabelle gets it anyway. If Emmy passes Isabelle, or Eric somehow passes Emmy, then it's a tie between Eric and Isabelle. And I would have to review who would get it. If Emmy passes Isabelle, Eric gets it. If Eric passes Emmy, it's a tie. Still, well, it's a tie either way, but Isabelle wouldn't have her 3rd place. Yeah, that's what it hinges on right now. Isabelle gets a podium right now to match the one Eric got. Eric has a 1st and a 2nd. Isabelle has a 1st and 2 thirds. So yeah, it would go to Eric unless Isabelle finishes ahead of Ice. But none of that matters if Eric doesn't pass Emmy and Emmy doesn't pass her. which they're kind of spread out-ish at the moment. Especially Isabel is starting to make some space between her and the Porsche. Eric is kind of closing in, but catching's one thing, passing's the other, as we all know.
Made a lot more sense. Because for most of this championship, Emmy's lineup was her crew chief was Dos Bueno, but her sister Inferno was her spotter. Except for this race. You want to take a guess who is Emmy's spotter for Interlagos? Bob.
I was gonna say Theo.
No. These two precious you hear half the shit that gets said over the radio.
Wouldn't she hear it anyway? Because she's just in proximity to them? Do I have a point?
Yeah. At least Sparkle forget you, Claire. You Sparkle for your shit.
Also, yeah, Wanda passed Brian Ice. That happened at the end of the last lap.
It doesn't matter at this point. The white flag is going to be out. One to go.
It really just matters what the fuck Emmy Angelos does. Or if Eric can pass her. If Emmy just defends from Eric, Isabel wins the championship. If Eric gets past her, or she passes Isabel, Eric wins. Nobody else is even close enough to even like be a threat for anything.
And Emmy isn't really even trying to compete at a high level. She's only here racing to have fun.
My response to that. I mean, I feel like you should be trying to compete at a high level at least. Try running the World Championship. Maybe not sweating your heart out trying to win the whole thing, but you should at least be giving it 90%.
She managed to get the CD player installed in that car specifically for this championship so she can listen to her tunes while she drives. That's how relaxed she was going into this.
Nothing to lose, I guess. Probably the more accurate way to look at it.
Yeah.
The final real corner, Wanda Glass is going to take a very Pyrrhic checkered flag right here.
Felipe Massa type situation.
It'll be her second win of the championship, but it is not going to be enough.
Yeah, but Wanda Glass gets the win, Brian Nice second.
She will be one short, and Eric will be one short. Isabel Aspinall
gets the title.
Yeah, by 1. So, yeah, 125 points. Isabel Aspinall is your champion. That's her 3rd championship of the season. So, clearly the most deserving season champion we have had thus far. Massive sophomore slump for Stephanie Kaiser, finishing 17th back here on the track, 16th in the standings.
I mean, to be fair, out of the several hundred drivers on the list for the entire season, finishing 17th, you said? Or 16th in the final standings? So you're the 16th best out of several hundred drivers? That's still not a horrible year.
Yeah, but when you also figure we only had 70 cars, if even that, I think we had 54 who were eligible for this World Championship based on having to be a 750 class car that is a road-going model.
With a non-race car engine in it.
Yeah.
Because of the something night Tokyo.
Yeah, endurance race rules, and the race car's fuel tank is the actual problem.
Yeah.
Goddamn camera! Of course, we're not done covering shenanigans either. I guess Rollins was not satisfied hitting me once. And, well, it wasn't there. Oh, because this was the first time. That's right. Here we go. Yeah, bumper to the back of the 71.
To be fair, that's more so a response to the stack-up.
Still, He's run into me twice in 4 laps. Not even in one race, in 4 laps, in half the race. And the only plausible explanation as to why he has such a big stick up his ass is I gave him a little bump into turn 1 at the end of lap 2, or the start of lap 2. And he sees that as grounds to just straight up knock me out of contention. So yeah, as for the full rundown of points, Isabel at 125, Eric and Wanda tie at 124, Nilu at 121, Farah Fidanzi at 114, so second and fifth in points will be a much-needed payout to the Scuderia Fidanzi, just in general. Yeah, you can see I had the speed to win this race. I ran a 28 flat, or 28.9, I can't read, but...
To be fair, that's mostly out of just being pissed off.
I'm not usually one who drives better when I'm angry. I usually drive worse when I'm pissed.
Yeah.
So I instead come out of this 6th in points at 113. Riza 7th at 108. Hilariously, Brian Ice, finishing 2nd here, manages to overtake his employee, Dom DePrisco, because he didn't get to do the race, so he scores 0 points.
Should have DQ'd him entirely at that point.
It's not in the rules, so to speak. It is just generally, if you DNF from a race, you score no points. He was scored for the Glen, but we just were like, does this really matter? He's going to score nothing in the final round. He can't win the championship from here. Jock Aranto, 10th in points at 99. Noir at... Nah, I can't read. No, Aranto is 104. Noir is 99 in 11th. We're both going a little crazy here. Wayne Hansen at 90. As a reminder, he was like top 3 in points at one point, but after... even before the Glen, his fucking 18th place finish at Montreal, followed by getting taken out at Watkins Glen and another 4 points scored today, meant that he fell very, very far. Emmy comes away with 13th in points with 87. Ruby with 86. So, I mean, yeah, 14th in points isn't really that great, but when you consider the vehicle she had, and the odds being so stacked against her, and I guess the starting grid gods helped a lot, but still. Then you come away with 15th in points at 73, Stephanie with 69, nice. Kurt Wild with 65, get out of my head, Thrasher at 60, Rollins' bitch ass at 58, because he scored 20 from winning the brightest night in Tokyo, and then over the next 8 races proceeded to only score 38 more.
Tell us how you really feel about him.
He better hope we don't run the same region in the final challenge. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go full Aspinall special, but his vehicle will not be without damage if I get my hands on it.
To be fair, the Aspinall special does lead to wonderful seasons.
Apparently, maybe that's the thing I'm not doing here. And last in points was Anastasia Koroleva, scoring a grand total of 50 over 9 races. So I thought the F50 and the Aruf RGT were the pretenders, but I guess that Enzo Ferrari had absolutely nothing to offer. That is the Challenge Series World Championship. Isabel wins the whole thing, making her 3rd title after the Clubman Cup and the Premium Sports Cup. But the hilarious twist is that she will not be in the final challenge because Team NFR does not have enough cars to run in it. We'll cover the actual rules of that on a separate occasion, but as for now, me and Logan are both fucking tired of the shit.
Demon Sports and Racing Wolves are going to host a barbecue later on down the line. Let's go drown our sorrows in some freshly barbecued hot dogs and burgers.
Can we also drown Satoshi Rollins?
Asking
for a friend smile.
We got a spot.